Nothing's new smartphone lineup. What to expect from Lite and T models. Prepare to be surprised. Nothing isn't content with its current lineup. Despite doubling its annual revenue to over $500 million and hitting $1 billion in lifetime sales last year. In an unexpected twist that may spark many debates, the company is rumored to be diversifying its smartphone offerings. But here's where it gets controversial. Tipster Yogesh Brar suggests that Nothing might soon introduce a new range of devices under Lite or T labels to complement its established Pro series, which they believe isn't enough to drive the healthy revenue growth the brand is aiming for. This potential expansion is particularly intriguing given that Nothing already owns an entry-level sub-brand called CMF by Nothing. It raises the question, will these new Lite phones simply overlap with the existing CMF lineup? Or will they be equipped with enhanced hardware to stand out in a crowded market? Perhaps this is a strategic maneuver to capture a broader customer base by offering something more competitively priced, or with just the right balance of features. When it comes to the so-called T-branded phones, the scenario might be different. Like OnePlus's approach with its compact flagship models, Nothing's new T-series could offer fans a smaller yet powerful flagship option. This would give loyal customers yet another way to enjoy the brand without compromising on quality, a move that many enthusiasts are eagerly awaiting. There is, however, some uncertainty, as these details come mostly from insider hints and tipsters, leaving us to wonder whether Nothing is truly set on expanding its lineup, or if these are just early musings. And this is the part most people miss. The company's flagship Nothing Phone 3 has faced criticism over its price, which might be prompting a search for a more affordable high-end option. The potential names, such as Nothing Phone 3T or Phone 3 Lite, seem a bit unoriginal, and one might argue that a more innovative naming scheme would better capture the essence of Nothing's forward-thinking brand. What do you think? Is Nothing making the right move by diversifying its phone lineup, or should they focus on perfecting their current Pro models? Share your thoughts in the comments. This is a debate that is sure to spark differing opinions among tech enthusiasts and industry insiders alike. Kazmin, the chief and tech journalist behind Phone Arena, brings over a decade of experience covering brands like Samsung and Nokia. With a deep interest in pioneering technologies and a background that uniquely blends PR with hardcore tech journalism since 2016, Kazmin is dedicated to delivering clear, impartial news. When he's not writing insightful pieces or making guest appearances on TV and radio, he enjoys immersing himself in RPG games, Netflix binges, and exploring history and travel. Rumors of Nothing's new smartphone lineup. Lite and T models on the horizon. In an exciting turn of events, Nothing is reportedly venturing into the development of a new category of smartphones. Recently, the company unveiled the Phone 3, which has been marketed as its first true flagship device. However, whispers in the tech community suggest that Nothing is now considering the introduction of Lite or T models to its product range. An Indian leaker on X has claimed that the current Pro models are failing to meet expectations, stating, "Pro models are just not cutting it." It's worth noting that the only recent device from Nothing that carries a Pro designation is the Phone 3A Pro, which is a mid-range smartphone that boasts superior specifications compared to its non-Pro counterpart, the Phone 3A. The speculation surrounding the potential addition of Lite or T-branded phones to Nothing's lineup is intriguing. But which models would these new suffixes apply to? Could we see a Nothing Phone 3 Lite, or perhaps a Nothing Phone 3A Lite? The distinction between these two possibilities could be significant. Unfortunately, the source of this rumor has not provided further details about these anticipated Nothing Lite or T models, leaving us in the dark about their specific features or target audience. If there is any truth to these claims, we can expect to hear more about Nothing's strategic moves in the near future, so it's wise to stay tuned for updates. In the meantime, if you're curious about the current offerings, you might want to check out our review of the Nothing Phone 3. For those interested in the latest deals, here are some of the best offers available for the Nothing Phone 3. 256 gigabytes with 12 gigabytes RAM, priced at $799 or 799 euros, and 512 gigabytes with 16 gigabytes RAM, also available for $799 or 799 euros. You can find more pricing options here. www.gsarena.com/nothingphone3 5G/price 13969.php. As for the Nothing Phone 3A Pro, it is currently offered at 256 gigabytes with 12 gigabytes RAM, available for €432 or £394. Check out the full pricing detail here. www.gsarena.com/nothingphone3A Pro, price 13649.php. Lastly, the Nothing Phone 3A is priced as follows. 128 gigabytes with 8 gigabytes RAM, priced at $385 or $306.90. Or 256 gigabytes with 12 gigabytes RAM, available for $459 or €342. So for more pricing information, visit this link /www.gsarena.com/nothingphone3A price 326072.php. What do you think about the potential for Nothing to expand its smartphone lineup? Do you believe that introducing Lite or T models could be a smart move, or do you think it might dilute the brand? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Is Nothing Phone facing an identity crisis? Analysis of Nothing's new direction. Imagine a beloved smartphone brand suddenly seeming unsure of itself, like a talented artist questioning their style. That's what might be happening with Nothing, a phone maker near and dear to many hearts. Over the past few years, Nothing has emerged as one of the most intriguing players in the smartphone market, thanks largely to its co-founder Carl Pei's background with OnePlus. Now, rumors suggest that Nothing might be venturing into a new territory with a lineup of low-cost devices. While expanding into budget-friendly options isn't inherently problematic, it raises some questions given Nothing's current product offerings. Nothing recently unveiled its first flagship phone, the Nothing Phone 3. Which the company proudly calls its ultimate expression of nothingness. This device, however, isn't your typical spec-heavy superphone. It offers a unique blend of features that set it apart. But here's where it gets controversial. Why introduce a new series of low-cost phones when Nothing already has a range of entry-level to mid-range models plus a newly minted flagship? This potential shift could indicate a deeper issue, an identity crisis. It's as if Nothing is trying to redefine itself without fully understanding its current position in the market. A new direction with familiar branding like Lite or T could further confuse consumers. These terms typically signify entry-level or mid-range products, which doesn't align well with Nothing's innovative approach to naming conventions. Currently, Nothing employs a distinctive naming system. For example, it uses the letter A for mid-range devices such as the Phone 3A and Phone 3A Pro, and omits it for top-tier models like the Phone 3. Entry-level phones are kept separate, using the CMF brand for affordability. Introducing a T or Lite model would disrupt this carefully crafted strategy. Moreover, Nothing struggles with clear communication. The Phone 3 is marketed as a flagship, but it doesn't quite match traditional expectations for such a device. This discrepancy can lead to misunderstandings among consumers. Carl Pei himself addressed early reviews, acknowledging that the Phone 3 isn't for everyone. However, this response highlights the need for better explanation rather than more products. Past missteps, like the confusing Nothing Phone 2A Plus and the premature release of mid-range 3A phones, suggest that adding more devices won't solve the problem. Instead, Nothing needs to focus on clarifying its brand identity and educating consumers about its unique value proposition. In essence, Nothing is navigating a transition from its startup roots to becoming a mainstream player. This journey requires a new narrative and effective communication. While I can't prescribe the solution, it's clear that introducing more phones with new labels isn't the answer. How will Nothing redefine itself without losing its quirky charm? That's the question worth pondering.